Basically, Netanyahu using the weapons he could get from the United States and weapons they produce on their own, by the way. They did it. Biden tried to block them at every turn. If Biden had his way, Hezbollah would still be powerful. Sinwar would still be alive. Hezbollah would be in full power. I mean, it was Israel's decision once it had dealt with Hamas to deal with Hezbollah at great cost. It's Israel that decided to deal directly with Iran. And they wanted to do more, you remember? But Joe Biden said, hey, take the win, take the win. And there he stands there. He acts like he deserves credit for something. He deserves credit for nothing. Now, Joe Biden wants you to think that he gets credit for this. You see, he weakened Iran while he was funding them, while he was trying to hold back Israel and undermining them. He weakened Hezbollah, even though you might recall every time Israel was taking actions against Hezbollah, they were told to pull back. The United States even criticized Israel for using the cell phones and the walkie-talkies to blow up like 3,000 of their genitalia, something like that, and their hands and so forth. Oh my God! And they even rolled out some of these old spy types who said that was an act of terrorism. Panetta, one of them. So they haven't supported Israel's war against Hezbollah. They haven't supported Israel against Iran. He pretends he does, and now he takes credit. Go.
For years, the main backers of Assad have been Iran, Hezbollah, and Russia. But over the last week, their support collapsed, all three of them, because all three of them are far weaker today than they were when I took office. And let's remember why. After Hamas attacked Israel on October the 7th, 2023, when much of the world responded with horror, Iran and its proxies chose to launch a multi-front war against Israel. That was a historic mistake on Iran's part. Today, Iran's main territorial proxy, Hezbollah, is also on its back. Only 12 days ago, I spoke from the Rose Garden about the ceasefire deal in Lebanon, a deal that was only possible because Hezbollah has been badly degraded. Meanwhile, Hamas has been badly degraded as well.
He can't say a single positive word about Netanyahu and his government and the IDF and the rest of the Israeli military intelligence services. Can't. But they're the ones who deserve the credit. He deserves no credit, Biden. Can you imagine if Trump were president, Hamas would be finished, Hezbollah would be finished, Iran would have been destroyed, that is, the government there, the people could have risen up if they chose to, and they've tried on multiple occasions. But that's not what happened. Basically, Netanyahu using the weapons he could get from the United States and weapons they produce on their own, by the way, and some weapons they're able to acquire for some other countries, they did it. Their government did it, their military did it. Their soldiers are dying, their soldiers are being wounded, their people are suffering as a result, that is, the economy is in Israel. They did it. Biden held them back. Biden tried to block them at every turn. If Biden had his way, Hezbollah would still be powerful. Sinwar would still be alive. They would have cut some kind of deal that would have ensured another attack one day. Hezbollah would be in full power still in Lebanon. I mean, it was Israel's decision once it had dealt with Hamas to deal with Hezbollah at great cost. It's Israel that decided to deal directly with Iran. And they wanted to do more, you remember? But Joe Biden said, hey, take the win, take the win. And there he stands there. He acts like he deserves credit for something. He deserves credit for nothing. Go ahead.
Iran's own military capabilities have been weakened. Iran tried 2 times to attack Israel and the United States and build a coalition of countries to directly defend Israel and help defeat those attacks.
Hold on. I have to say this. That last missile attack against Israel, thank God for the American military, but not Joe Biden. They knocked out 12 missiles. There were 300 missiles shot at Israel. They knocked out most of the rest of them. Now, why do I say that? Because Biden did the least possible of anything to support them. That's the truth. Not because there's something wrong with our military. Our military is the greatest. Our people in the military are the greatest. And most of them can't stand him. But he takes credit for things. Remember the economy's great? He claimed he took credit for that too. Remember the border was secure? For 3 years we were told the border's secure like never before. Of course it wasn't. Go ahead.
All this made possible for Iran and Hezbollah to continue to prop up, impossible, I should say, for them to prop up the Assad regime. Additionally, Russia's support for Assad also failed. And that's because Ukraine...
And it's because Israel knocked out, pretty much, Iran's air defenses. They have none. Iran has a very weak ground game because they put most of the money into their air defenses, missile system, and into their surrogates. The Israeli leadership is very strategic about what they're doing. They want to take out Iran. They want to take out their nuclear sites. They want the people to overthrow it because Iran is old Persia, and Persia is not Arab. Persia is not of the same Muslim sect as most of the Arab countries, and most of the people there are educated. They're not Bedouins, as an example. They have a completely different background than one might think. And it's much like the Taliban in Afghanistan. They represent 14% of the people, but they're vicious, horrendous, genocidal maniacs. And so the rest of the population lost, as did Biden in terms of the way he surrendered in Afghanistan. The vast majority of the people don't want the Taliban, but there's a big difference. Some of the people in Afghanistan fought, but a lot of them wouldn't fight. In Israel, they fight. They all fight. They're a warrior people. They've had to be a warrior people. Look at ancient history. Look at modern history. And when they're not a warrior people, their very survival is at stake, like with the Third Reich. They're not going to make that mistake again. They're just not going to do it. Smart people and innovative people, entrepreneurial people, humane people, but warriors. And Netanyahu is a warrior. Netanyahu is a wartime warrior like Churchill was. Joe Biden's a disgrace. Not only didn't he do what he's claiming credit for in our own country, he's hollowing out the United States military and won't do what's needed to get recruits and so forth. That'll all change in the days, weeks, and months ahead.
For all this and much more, sign up for LevinTV.